Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Final Fantasy 1, where last time we saved the town of Provoca from the pirates. And now we're left wondering exactly what we should be doing next. So let's have a wander around and talk to everyone. They say there are elves living across the sea, but the elf prince has fallen into a deep sleep and hasn't woken up. Oh no. Because of you? Yeah, we talked to you last time. So I think the elf thing is the clue we need to follow. Now that we got the ship from our pirate friend BK. Yeah, there's no one else to talk to, is there? Okay, run. Oh no, there's an old dude over there. Let's go talk to him as well. The run button also was not in the original NES version.
I fled here from Melmond, a town far to the west. It is a truly pitiable sight. The earth rots, and monsters attack in the night. Is there nothing you can do to help?
Yeah, so that's somewhere we go later. That is where the earth crystal hangs out. And so by restoring the earth crystal, you prevent the earth from rotting and doing unpleasant things. There are many monsters in the Aldean Sea, best be careful. I'll be careful, alright. Okay, so here's our ship. And so, on we go, with jolly music. Now I just have to remember where to actually go. So at the minute, although you've got the freedom to go in the ship, you're actually kind of confined to... Ow! You're actually confined to a sea that's in the middle of the world map. And it's not until a little bit later that you get to progress through that. Right then. I don't know if that helps with what they're doing, but let's sleep them all. And I mentioned back in the first episode, in the introduction, that this game was heavily inspired by Dungeons & Dragons. And the presence of Sahagin here is probably one of the most commonly cited examples of that. So Sahagin are a race of monsters that have been in various incarnations of Dungeons & Dragons over the years. And here they are in Final Fantasy, and they remain in Final Fantasy to this day. So if you've ever played the MMO Final Fantasy XIV, you'll know that the Sahagin are a tribe of beast people that you interact with at various points. And kick the shit out of quite a lot of them as well. Those weren't words. You fight a lot of them. I don't need to cure anyone. Just hit them with your hammer. Just hit them. Keep hitting them. Meanwhile, Tim will zap them with lightning. Because they're water-based. Which means they are weak to lightning. Stop with the paralysis attacks. They're really annoying. So paralysis in this is basically stun, so it just puts you out of action for a couple of turns. There is a spell that you can cure it with, but we don't have that at the moment, so you just have to suck it up for the moment. How are these guys with lightning? Let's find out. Oh, so it turns out that gaze is not a spell, because, it's just a gaze attack, so... Silence doesn't have an effect on that, sadly. I wonder if blinding them prevents them from using a gaze attack. Next time we encounter them, let's try that. Hooray, Tim gained a level. Alright, we're heading to the south to go and see if we can find the elves. Can't get in there yet because you need a canoe to get into that shallow water there. The ship can't get in there because its arse is too fat. There's a dock. I think this is where we want to be. I'm just going to save just in case. And... oh, not quite good enough with the hand-to-hand combat for Sam just yet, but he's getting there. He will very soon be ready to become a pure fist fighter, which means you don't have to buy weapons for him anymore, which is nice. Get out of here, wolves. No one likes you. Just suddenly remember this cup of coffee that I made probably at least half an hour ago. Rapidly becoming an iced coffee. Right, where are the elves? I think they're right here. Unless this is not the elf place at all, and we've come somewhere completely different. But I'm pretty sure this is the elf place. Maybe? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. But first, there are wolves to smack in the face. So, veterans of the NES version will probably know about the Peninsular of Power trick, which is a part of the world map. By the way the world map works is that it's split up into various square regions, and each of those regions has like a certain set of encounters you can have in there with regard to monsters. And what the Peninsula of Power is that it's a bit of land on the continent that we've just been on that sticks out just far enough that it crosses over into the next square region in the north. And so that means there's just 2 squares on this peninsula sticking out into the ocean where you fight monsters that are much tougher than you would do normally, and that's a great way of really getting loads of experience. In this version, it's not really quite so necessary to take advantage of that, just because you level up a lot quicker in this than you did in the original, because it's, as I say, I'm pretty sure that this is the sort of balance and mechanics of this are based on the easy version that was introduced in the PS1 Final Fantasy Origins release. But I think it's still there if you do want to use it. But we probably won't unless we absolutely have to. So, here we are in Elfheim. So this is the elf place. I just don't know what we can do. Please help our prince. Alright, but first, what weapons do you have? I don't really have enough money. I need some more money. Let's come back when we got some more money. Let's have a look around in the meantime. What spells are on offer here? Level 3 spells. Fire, Hold. Oh, so that's our paralyzed spell. Thundara and Fukara. Again, potentially helpful, but very expensive at this point. 1,000 gil. Not something we're going to be getting hold of too easily. Here lies Link. Do you get it? You get it, because he's from Zelda. And this gravestone has had several incarnations over the years. I forget which one goes with which version, but there's also one that says "Here lies Erdrick," which is a reference to Dragon Quest. But yeah, this one chose to poke fun at Zelda. No one knows where Astos, King of the Dark Elves, has gone. Maybe we'll run into him. Maybe he's got something to do with whatever is wrong with the prince. Who knows? In the journey I took to the west, I wandered into an ancient castle. Not a soul could be found inside, and the whole place gave me the creeps, so I got out as fast as I could. Well, there's our clue. The prince does not awaken, there will be no elf king, and we will be at the mercy of the Dark Elf's evil power. Oh no. Weapons and armor made of mithril are sturdy and powerful. You should give them a try, you'd be surprised. I would if I could afford them, dear boy. Our prince was meant to become the elf king, but what will happen now? I am a sage. When the time is right, the future is revealed to me. I shall wait patiently until then. Oh, thanks. Level 4 spells. 2,500 gil. And so we're not touching those for the minute. Level 4 white magic. Level 4 white magic. Remove poison. Fear. And cure silence. So yeah, things to aim for the future. Hashtag life goals. Right, so actually before we do that, let's have a quick rest. He's coming, blah 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 blah. 100 gil. Very expensive. But since you are the only inn in this town, we will suck it up. Like how on the wall they just appear to have pictures of gravestones. It's really a room you want to be sleeping in, isn't it? Okay, so Elf Dude said we should head to the west to try and find the abandoned castle. So let's do that after we fight these things. You can hit them with a hammer. You can sleep them all. Critical hit. Not enough to kill it though. There we go. Death by white mage again. How embarrassing. Both asleep. Very good. We'll save Tim's magic points for now. Especially while... Oh, you good dude there. We're getting some free hits on him. There we go. Nicely done, everyone. Right, where is this old castle? Ow! Stop hitting my squishy mages! In theory, the order that you have your party in should determine how likely they each are to be hit, so it makes the most sense to put the fighter up at the top because they're the most heavily armoured. But there's still a chance that the ones further down the list will be hit. It's just there's an increased likelihood of the ones at the top getting hit. I'm not entirely sure how it's calculated, but that is how it's supposed to work anyway. Where are we going? The wrong way, clearly. Just attack. Oh no! Does poison persist after battle in this? Yes, it does. How irritating. And I don't have anything with which to remove that. Well, that's jolly annoying, isn't it? Ow, 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 ow. I remember I played this game for the first time after I became familiar with the later Final Fantasy, so like Final Fantasy 7, 8. And I was very surprised to discover the early Final Fantasies and a lot of RPGs that followed its mould. They had the whole poison persists after battle thing. It was not something I was prepared for. But still, if one person is going to get poisoned, at least it's the one with the most hit points. Oh, excuse me. Hiccuping. Yes, at least it's the one with the most hit points, who is gradually having his hit points drained. Right, I suppose we better go and see if they sell any antidotes in Elfheim then. Take that! And that! And that! And that! Massive wallop from Tom there. The White Mage Hammer is proving to be a formidable weapon. Spiders! Ah! I smell more poison coming our way. So you can all just fucking go to sleep. There we go. One thing I always find oddly entertaining in role-playing games is that people just seem to take car-sized spiders in their stride. It's just like, yeah, it's fine. Whereas if you saw that in reality, you know how people are with just like normal spiders. If you had one that was the size of a Ford Transit coming towards you, you would, I know I'd certainly shit myself. It's always Tom killing them. Even with a pathetic hit for 7. That's it, everyone just soften them up. And Tom will finish them off. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Does sleeping remove poison? Oh, we've earned quite a lot of money. We can upgrade some equipment. There we go to sleep, and Pierre's just up all night going. Oh. Have you got rid of your poison? No, you have not. That was annoying. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. You're a church. No. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow. Please. Just some of this. Lots of them. Thank you. Ah. There you go, poor fella. Chug it down. All the hit points he's lost just from wandering around there. Okay, so Tom, you can heal him up a bit. There we go. Wonderful. Right. That has eaten into the cash we earned a bit, unfortunately. But let's see what we've got. So, iron armor you already got. Copper armlet the mages can have. Iron shield. I want some hats. That's defense 3, defense 1. Alright, so one of them for Pierre. And then 3 of them for everyone else. One of them for Pierre. I can't afford them. Well, I can afford one of them. Anything we can sell. Get rid of this. Why have I got an extra one of them? You're in a helm. Leather cap, leather cap, leather cap. Okay, I guess we got an extra one of them then. Well, that didn't really provide us with much more. Okay, copper armlet for... Tom can have it, because he's the healer, you know. And then he can sell all his clothes for 4 gil. It's got to make him feel good, hasn't it? Right. Onward again. Let me out of this place. Right. Let's just save there quickly. Oh, it just occurs to me we didn't actually go in the castle either, did we? Can we go in there? Yes, we can. Let's pay them a visit. Astos' curse has put our prince into a deep sleep from which he cannot awake. Please, will you not attempt to aid our slumbering prince? I could probably be persuaded to do that. The Dark Elf King Astos stole into the castle and placed a curse on our prince. Then Astos carted away the castle's treasures. Oh no, not the treasures! Maybe we can work something out. The prince has slept under Astos' curse for 5 years now. There must be some medicine that could rouse the sleeping. But where? Zed, Zed, Zed! Is this everything in here? The dwarves live in a cave on the western edge of the Aldean Sea. They're a friendly bunch. Nice little garden there. Yeah. Move. 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 Thank you. Right. What have we got around here? I think this is one of the castles you can kind of sneak... Oop, maybe not. There are some of the castles you can sneak around the perimeter of and find some stuff. There we are. It's locked with the mystic key. Of course it is. The treasure house has been bound by the mystic key. Yes, I know. I just tried to steal everything from it. Right. Off we go. To the west. Preemptive strike. Hooray. Stab for 3. Wallop for 29. And slice for 10. Is this the toughest spider in the world? It's an iron spider. Slightly more like it. What if we went this way? We'd reach the coast, and there wouldn't be much useful. That's a shame. Back to the north, then it is. Ogres! Ow! Ow! I kind of like that you're almost straight into fighting big, beefy enemies like this in this game. It sort of makes you feel like you're kind of heroic adventurers right from the outset, rather than the kind of game where you spend 10 hours fighting rats and mice and that sort of thing before you actually get to fight anything vaguely dangerous looking. Alright, what? Nothing is that way. Wolves? Thomas? Herr Dr. Klingman here. Sure, wolves to Mr. Knight. Every time I see a wolf or the word wolf, I think of that, and no one ever gets it. No one ever understands that reference. And I am sad. It's from Gabriel Knight 2, if you weren't sure. The Beast Within. There's a tape splicing puzzle where you have to convince the owner of a zoo. We have to convince the overseer of a wolf enclosure to let you go and look at his wolves, because that game's all about werewolves and stuff like that, so you need to go and see the wolves to kind of understand them a bit better. And yeah, in gloriously retro format, what you're doing is you're splicing together a dictaphone tape. Ow! Poison! Cease this nonsense. Now, question is, do werewolves count as undead? Let's find out. If Tom ever gets a turn. Ow. They do not. Now you know. Oh, I tell you what, I did look up what deer meant. Why that spell is called deer. I've actually forgotten the reason for it. It's something to do with the Japanese term for banish undead or something like that. If you'll just bear with me a moment, I will actually look it up right now, because I found it quite an interesting bit of trivia. So let's just go and have a quick look while we level up there. So, Final Fantasy Deer. Stupid phone, I searched for Dick the Q instead. Deer ability. Here we are. So, according to the Final Fantasy Wiki, Deer is a recurring spell in the Final Fantasy series. Yes, it does appear. Its original use has been rendered obsolete by the ability to target enemies as well as allies with the Cure line of spells. Yes, so that is something that comes in a bit later in the series, where undead stuff can actually be damaged by Cure spells. Where's the etymology of that? I remember reading this the other day. Maybe it wasn't there. Oh no, here we are. So, dia means day in Portuguese and Spanish. And also, in ancient Greek religion, it means heavenly divine or she who belongs to Zeus. And also, the original Japanese release of Final Fantasy used dia in katakana, I think, as an abbreviation for dispel undead. So basically what it is, going back to those Dungeons & Dragons references, basically what it is the equivalent of the turn undead ability in Dungeons & Dragons. There's the old castle. Right, let's have a quick rest in the sleeping bag. Yeah, so it kind of has a sort of double meaning. So one, it's the abbreviation for the Japanese version of Dispel Undead, and two, the sort of connection to Spanish and Portuguese has a lot of people sort of making association with sunlight and that sort of thing, like the light banishing the darkness and that sort of thing. Kiki. Okay, so this dungeon's quite short, as I recall, so we will plough through this and then call it a day for this episode. So we just need to find the rooms we can actually go into that haven't been bound by the Mystic Key. Which it looks like might only be that one on the right, actually. Fair enough. So all the way back around again, or just out and back in again. There we go. No, nothing down there. So in here, I guess.
I was tricked by Astos, king of the Dark Elves, and now my castle has fallen into ruin. If I could only retrieve the crown from the marsh cave, I would be able to restore my castle. Might you bring me the crown?
But where is the marsh cave? Okay, so this isn't a dungeon at all. This is just telling you where to go next. I think the marsh cave is presumably even further to the west. Let's go and have a little look. Can we go any further north? Not really. Preemptive strike against some wolves, though. I need to check on Sam's attack power again, see if it's time to remove his weapon. Good job, everybody. Right, so if I get rid of this, currently attack 21, attack 20. Good enough, good enough. You can now be a fist fighter. Since that's your job, after all. Nice crit from Tim there. And poison again. Bloody hell. Didn't even get an attack. Right, where is this marsh cave? It'll probably be by some sort of marsh, I imagine. Oh, look at that. So his attack power is slightly less, but he's hitting 4 times because he got 2 hands. So now he's kicking us. Should have probably done that sooner. Oh, that's ridiculous. Fantastic. That's an incredibly satisfying punch sound effect as well. It really sounds like sort of slapping wet flesh. Love it. This looks like a marsh to me. Is that ominous looking hole the marsh cave? I imagine it probably is, isn't it? I'm just going to poke my head in there and just make sure. Yes, that is the marsh cave. Alright, so I'm going to save here. And we're going to explore the marsh cave in the next episode. Because, you know, we've been here a while now. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moegamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.